right, so I'm so excited to welcome this incredible woman. Not only is she an Oregonian, which is a place after my own heart, but she is a fitness and nutrition expert. She is my go-to. These guns are because of Jessica, but she really empowers fed up and frustrated women to be confident, to be strong, fit, flexible, lean, and by ditching their diets, about being more intuitive, about getting off the hamster wheel workouts, by falling in love with food, fitness, and themselves with what she calls her Birdie method. And first of all, she's hilarious. I love this woman. I love all these women actually, because I've had the pleasure of working with them over the last year, but Jessica is just a real gift. And the one thing I will say about her is she is so passionate about what she does, and that comes through. So Jessica, over to you, my dear.
Hi, can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much for the introduction. It's been a pleasure working with you as well. Hi, everyone. Before we get started, I just wanted to say, if you're here with me right now, go ahead and take a boomerang or a screenshot and tag me on social media. I'll drop my link to my Instagram in the chat. And I have a special treat for you if you do that, and you'll hear all about it at the end of the little chat. So be sure to stay until the end. So all sweat, no success, 3 reasons why you may be fitness failing. So I hear it all the time. You're putting in the hours. You are literally sweating over your Peloton bike. You're hitting the ground running outside. You're doing the HIIT routines, the circuit training, the CrossFitting. My friend, you've played in bar class so many times that you should be part of the New York Ballet. That is on top of all of the diets you have tried known to man, and you're still just not getting the results that you are looking for, that tone, that strength, the confidence that being fit brings you. Don't get me wrong, you get tastes of it like here and there, but the moment you rest your body or fall off the wagon, you are back to square one, and sometimes even square like -5, because it happens. And so today I want to share with you the why and what is missing from all those fitness programs you're trying, where you literally are sweating your butt off, moving and creating this perfect diet, but you're not finding the lasting results that you deserve and the success that you want. And my friends, what you're missing is fast. So before you're like, Birdie, what the heck is fast? And before I get into that, as a functional wellness coach, and having you I'm guessing you're usually probably sitting down right now because we're on a Zoom. I feel like it's a little disservice to just have you sit for this whole time. So if you can, stand up, get on your feet. I want to get a little bit of movement in. Yeah, Rebecca, get a little bit of movement in. So if you can't stand up, if not, sit up straighter, brace your core, suck your belly button into your spine, and let's do some shoulder rolls up, back, and down. Get those shoulders moving. If you're standing up, let's get those hips moving. Do some hip circles. And because the whole point of this is for you to feel good as hell, do your hip circles the other way. Why don't we just dance it out a little bit? Because remember, the point of fitness, my friends, is to feel good as hell. Feeling good. And if you don't want to dance, no one can see you. Oh yeah, Rebecca. Just getting that body moving. All right, my friends. All right. So thank you for indulging me in that little movement and getting that blood flowing through your body, because that is what it is all about. So back to it. If what I said before resonates with you at all, if you've been struggling, if you're finding that you're just starting to lack motivation to really work out and eat healthy because you are just burnt out from all of the, falling off the wagon, or you're just afraid of maybe giving up your favorite foods again because all these programs are so restrictive, or maybe even your social life, because who brings Tupperware with their pre-packed meals to happy hour, or even the time that it takes to do these crazy long workouts, but you still really, really want to fit into your clothing, feel strong, and really have your outsides be a visual of the strong, beautiful woman that you are inside, while also enjoying your movement, enjoying the food that you're eating, and finally feeling happy, confident, and like the capable woman that you are. So the three things why you're feeling stuck, reasons why you're feeling stuck, frustrated, and just frankly exhausted is that it isn't fun, it isn't adaptive, and it's not sustainable. It lacks fast. Oh, thanks. Look at that. Perfect with the slides. Thank you. So it lacks fast. Once you add fast into your routine, it's going to bring you that transformation and lasting results that you have been literally working so hard for. So let's start with that first F word, fun. So drop in the chat. How many of you out there have done like the whole baked chicken, steamed broccoli, brown rice style meal prepping diet before? Anyone? Yes. Yeah. So the problem, yes, boring. The problem with a lot of these diets out there and this mentality is that it has to be bland and boring and baked with no fat. Oh my gosh, it just kills me. Or some other very restrictive aspect where foods kind of become like good and bad based on calories or macros, and the healthy foods sometimes end up being tasteless or just basic AF. And my friend, that is death to your taste buds, let alone your motivation. And since one of my love languages is sharing the pleasure of food, it is completely heartbreaking to me to know that this is still happening. And I've been there too, because I've gone through this myself. I've done those kinds of meal preps. I've made this lifeless food. And it is just so sad because healthy food can and should be enjoyable, if not pleasurable, and that fun factor, because food is the fuel source of your life and functioning. I'm going to say that one more time so it sinks in. Food is the fuel source of your life and functioning. It's going to be the base of where you're feeling your best or maybe not feeling your best. So the flip side of this, thanks, Lauren. The flip side of this is that I've also seen programs where there's extravagant cooking. Food is so pleasurable, but the experience just falls absolutely flat because there's so much prepping and cooking and re-prepping and grocery shopping daily and all the cleaning of the dishes from all this cooking and prepping. And it just feels like a time suck because frankly, it is. And that takes the fun out of it, right? And when you have well-rounded fitness routines or fitness routines, you have the exercise component too. And a lot of the times I'm seeing that this exercise in the routines aren't right for your body or where you are necessarily at in your journey. I mean, drop in the chat. Has anyone ever been in a program where they felt like they have to be Gumby in order to do the routines, or like a former CrossFitter or like a gymnast, former pro gymnast or anything like that, where you're just like doing all these crazy burpee lunge jump things? Yes, Hillary. Yes. And it's hard because it's frustrating. It creates shame and guilt around your body. And part of being fit is rising out of that, right? We want to build our bodies up. And these programs a lot of times make us feel like we're beating our bodies down. It is not fun. It's frustrating. It's stressful, and you fizzle out. So what's really missing is food that you enjoy and not worrying about arbitrary numbers or measuring or counting or constantly cooking or baking boring and bland foods in order to see your results, right? And also fitness, where that fun factor is in it, where it's not only you seeing progress, but where it's challenging enough for you where you're at in your journey, but it's also honoring your body where it is at and supports your body so that it has purpose and intention behind it. So that's the fun factor. Moving on to adaptive. And so has anyone ever heard of like adaptive fitness before? Drop in the chat. No. Okay. So, so for those of you who haven't, adaptive is our body is efficient. Our body loves to be efficient. It's like happy zone is to just zone out, conserve as much energy as possible. And that's a great for back in the day, kind of like Sarah was talking about, like our caveman braids. Our bodies are kind of still set back into that like caveman Stone Age era where we were foraging. We needed to kind of just conserve as much energy as possible cycle while we were expending energy, more energy to look for the food, but also have enough energy to like run away from a tiger if it tried to chase us, right? So that works against us in the modern day, where like our foraging for food consists of us picking up our phone, beep, boop, 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 dialing Jimmy John's, having it delivered to our door, and maybe like walking 5 steps to the door, pick it up just to come back and sit down, right? So that's very little energy expended, considering the calories that are also coming in. Yes, DoorDash. So where adaptation comes in is that humans really benefit from small bouts of like hardship and change. So for example, with your muscles, if you're like doing those tricep kickbacks, working on that double wave, like every time you lift a weight, you're adding little micro tears into your muscles. And what your body does, and that's a hardship, your body's like, oh my gosh, I need to repair this. So it repairs it, it builds that muscle, then adds a little bit more on top of it so that you're getting a little bit stronger. You're prepared for that hardship the next time that it comes and you meet it. And that's the beautiful thing about how our body adapts to movement and whatnot. And why this is important is because, and why you need consistency in your routine is because of this adaptation, right? You want to continually like build that muscle, but you also want to switch up your routine in an intentional way so that you're seeing progress, but you're not getting injury prevention. So it's a fine balance between too much change and too little. And that's where you're also kind of seeing that plateauing happen too, is sometimes when you're not doing enough or having enough change and whatnot. And this goes beyond that, where beyond just doing like, oh, I'm going to switch from squats now to going to, leg press or lunges, but it also has to do with like the type of routine. So switching between strength and hypertrophy and endurance, which are basically just different patterns of lifting, where you switch up your sets, your reps, and even your rest, which is a big factor that people don't think about. And even at switching out based on your lifestyle. So if you are a go person and you're doing HIIT all the time, incorporating slower movement into your workout routine is great for not only muscular adaptation, but cognitive development and synapse health as well. Same goes for the opposite. If you're kind of like slow, mellow, meditative type, it's really beneficial and due to the adaptations to kind of maybe add in some like HIIT routines or something faster, like an AMRAP. And you're just getting growth from that. And this is missing from a lot of the random workouts that are out there, where it's like all one style or one type of workout or one type of movement or same type of rest or whatever, all of the time. And it's also not taking into consideration like you and your journey. So this comes into play in not only our exercise, but in our food as well, and not adhering to like one style of eating. So I totally respect, and I'm not trying to like harp on anyone who has that due out of, religious beliefs or humanitarian perspectives, etc. But I've worked with women who do, but when you choose a diet based on just like physical wants and health claims, like those restrictive diets out there, it's just not my jam, because once again, our body gets lazy and we get efficient. And that's great because that's what kept us alive back in the day. But since 85% of how we're going to feel and look is due to food, it's really good. And it's a great tool to switch it up and use adaptation, and not just going from like crazy extremes, like different styles of eating, like I'm going to be vegan one day and I'm going to be paleo the next or something like that, but just kind of also how and when you eat. And so this is where we can kind of incorporate fasting for females, where we are switching up the windows that we eat in a way that also works with our cycles, because we are not only just on the circadian rhythm, like we hear about all the time, where it's like, the sunset, sunrise, and all the fun things time of day, but we also have our hormonal one as well. So we want to respect that, because as women, that's just the stick we got dealt. But then this is really good to increase these different times. It's great for your gut health, and it's also good to I lost my train of thought. So it's great for your gut health and your digestion. And we're also working on inflammation in this area as well. This adaptation also goes, yes, Hillary, it's about balance. So this adaptation also goes with like seasonal changes. A lot of times we don't even realize it, but we're already eating different seasonally, which is great. And also it can be applied to like weekend or small short-term goals. It's all just about a constant variation with purpose. So it's flowing, not random and not extreme yo-yoing. So moving on to the last one, sustainability. So there's this girl named Jessica, and she was a yo-yo dieting extremist and also extreme exerciser, former D1 athlete. She did all the diets, and because she was just a little bit competitive, she hit them hard and unfortunately did them all wrong. She fell off the wagon time and time again, and it left her feeling ashamed, frustrated with her body, and super just exhausted from the struggle. So I know my story isn't unique because I'm Jessica. So drop in the chat who out there has just tried a diet before. Just say like yes or me. I'm sure yes, me. Okay, now drop in the chat the most extreme diet that you have been on. The name of it. Cabbage soup. Yes. Oh my gosh, you guys. The cabbage soup diet, if anyone has ever been on that thing is so hard. It is. So juice cleanses too. Yep. Yeah. Oh, the cabbage soup though, you guys, it is one of the loudest diets I've ever been on because there's lots of gas that happens. But what you find, yes, all these bodybuilding, yes. So the reason why these don't work is because you're like on a diet, right? When you're on something, you can fall off of it, and it doesn't work for long periods of time. It's not sustainable because it doesn't last. You can fall off of it. They don't leave you feeling healthier, balanced. They leave you oftentimes feeling bloated, gassy, like the cabbage soup diet, lethargic, more unmotivated, and extremely uncomfortable, let alone taking away from like your social life, unless once again, you like bringing Tupperware to happy hours. They add guilt and shame around food, around exercise sometimes, and a lot of times around your body. And this is all on top of the one thing that just is the worst of all of them is the hanger, my friends. As women, we have enough like predetermined hormonal, like a natural roller coaster that we go through that Jen Cena will chat about later in a month. And we don't need to add the hanger on top of it. And this is caused by the restricted and regimented and narrow focus of all these fitness programs out there. They are not sustainable, and they don't let you live when you are on them. They don't let you live your life. Once again, unless you like bringing Tupperware and stuff like that to happy hour. So, the constant of counting calories or macros, or even on the flip side for the fitness aspect of it, randomly working out where you can get into or doing the same movements all over and over again, bringing injury, or working out 6+ days a week, or working out hours at a time is just not going to be something that's necessarily sustainable because it's not having your life be a part of the fitness program. So therefore you end up breaking it, and it leads to a negative, like this negative mindset, right? We've all kind of been there where it's been, you kind of feel down, or you kind of feel like ashamed, or you're kind of feeling guilty. And I'm one of those people who believe that we're constantly building trust within ourselves, right? For every decision that we make. So the more that we say yes to these restrictive lifestyles because we're told they're healthy, and then fall off, the more we break our trust with ourselves. And that's just not healthy to do. And also, it's so important to trust yourselves because as a woman, you have intuition, you have that gut feeling, and it is your freaking superpower. So don't let these diets and these fitness programs and the restrictions and the extremes of them corrode that connection to it, my friends. So now that you know all the 3 things that aren't working for you, here are my resources to add fast back into your life and to make it work. I do want to say, keep in mind that it only works if you do, but that's where the F comes in and making it fun for you. So if you're looking for more fast in your cooking, I have a free recipe book where you're just going to be cooking 3 times in a week for your dinners and not have to cook the rest of the week. And guess what? Takeout is on the menu. It's all for you. And all these are going to be actually located on my website, which is in the beautiful slide that Lauren made. And if fast is missing from your fitness routine, I've got you too. I've got 3 workouts to adapt to your busy schedule, whether you have 15 minutes to work out or a full 45, I've got you covered. And if you're one of those people who tagged me on Instagram or in social media about this, I'm going to slide into your DMs and say, A, thank you, and B, offer you a complimentary 15-minute one-on-one coaching call where we can work together to see exactly where we can add fast into your routine. And honestly, I would love to stay connected, my friends, and keep inspiring you. So follow me on Instagram, friend me on Facebook, and see just, I guess, the ridiculous, as Rebecca's called them, reels, and just bringing some laughter and fun and helping me feel good as hell. And last but not least, always remember, you can do it. You just got to put some fast into it.
I love you, Birdie. You see why we love Birdie, because she's hilarious. Put some fast into it. Thank you, Birdie. And by the way, Birdie's her nickname. And the meals, I can just vouch for the fact that her meals are next level. I somehow, as being a health freak, I somehow raised a somewhat picky toddler, shocker. And the meals are Luca approved. So thank you, Birdie.